We're live.
Hey guys, you know what day it is? It's Whitney Escapes Wednesday. And today I have a lot to talk about. Not really, but I like to wing it. We're going to talk about passports one and how sometimes we can escape. So to get this started, we're going to bring in my favorite guest, Miss T Quest GLM herself.
I'm sorry. Did you call me a guest or did you mean to say co-host?
Both. You're the guest and your co-host.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. She's in her bag right now, guys. We'll forgive her.
Yes, in my bag. Alive. Ready to slay my next escape.
Yes. And that's why I said we were going to be talking about passports, one, and two, when you can escape, both of those have been my reality lately. The reason I want to talk about passports because I had several clients, more than one, don't know each other, different groups, different gender, male, female, different people, all happen at the same time, have these trips booked and waiting on passports, and I get, things happen, life happens to all of us. But now, when you have your trip paid and you don't have a passport, where you going? So it's very important. It's very important to make sure you have your passport. That right there alone had me yesterday at the post office because you have to make an appointment now. Let me give y'all that tip. You have to make an appointment because of COVID-19. They're taking appointments only to do passports. But it had me at the post office yesterday, renewing both of my children's passports because I knew that their passport was expiring next year. And we had a couple of trips for next year. And I was like, you know what? Let me just do it now because I don't want to wait too soon. And plus, their passport was expiring right before one of our trips. So I was like, let's do it now because it gives them plenty of time to give me their passports before we're traveling because, I already have payments down. Some of them are paid in full. And I don't have time that we're going somewhere and my kids can't go because their passport is expiring too close to the trip.
I ain't babysitting. I said, I ain't babysit if they ain't going.
So it's just a reality, everything with what's going on in this world, people, we still travel, but we want to make sure we're prepared. My next vacation out of the country with my children, because my next vacation out the country is the next less than a month. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, when you do it. Amen. Is out the country with my children is in March. And I already did their passport yesterday because I wanted to make sure that we'll be good to go. No problems, no hiccups, none of that type of stuff. I don't want to go, we didn't have enough time because you got to remember there's short staff. There's a million people who, need to do the new passports or get in passports. Right now, it's a time to, plan ahead, think ahead so that you don't be a person out here like, oh my God, I need to go somewhere. My passport expires. It's just like your driver's license. We have to stay up on these things. The difference between your passport and driver's license, you still have a couple of days you can drive. I think it's 180 days they allow. So you have to have your driver's license renewal, or it's 90, one or the other.
I don't work at DMV, so I don't know.
I think it's 90 because when I went there, my license expired this year during the COVID. They sent me a letter in the mail stating that, you have this extension. But then when I was at DMV, they said, oh, you still have additional extension, They were closed. So nobody could get there. And that's also by appointment. We just have to stay up on our documentation. You just call it being responsible, one. And two, life happens because sometimes if it wasn't for Whitneys Escapes Wednesday, I probably wouldn't remember today was Wednesday. Because when you have so much going on and you're not on a real schedule like that, it's like, what's today? You know what I'm saying? So just a tip, guys, make sure, all your stuff is up to date. Also, make sure you have all your proper documents because even with children, you have to make sure you give them the birth certificate again, even though you're renewing your passport. I had to bring a birth certificate again. I was like, why don't this birth certificate? The passport, both parents have to be there. It's a whole different process when you're dealing with kids. So that's just a tip
both
for the
parents have to be where?
At the post office when you're renewing your child's passport because you have to have both consent. So both parents have to get their driver's license. Both parents have to sign that they're the parents of the kids, that they give their kids permission to have passport, even if you're together or not. Like, even though that I'm married, and if I decide to travel with my children outside of the United States, my husband still has to give me a notarized letter saying it's okay for me to travel out the country with our children, and we're married.
Yeah.
That's just to protect the children, because nowadays, with households are so different, and they have people stealing their own kids, you know what I'm saying? Custody battles, so
Mm-hmm.
many different things. Grandparents, taking their grandkids to the country without the parents' permission, or with the mom but without the dad. So you have to have the proper
What
documentation.
if you can't get in contact with the other parent? Like if you were like separated or not, just not together, the kids can't go.
No, you
Wow.
have to have proper court documentations saying that your child, even if your
Full custody.
partner is locked up or something, you have to go to the judge, to go to the court. It's so many different things, because so many bad things have been happening to children. Sex trafficking is huge. You
That's
know,
all ages now.
exactly. And
Or
then parents taking other parents who don't have legal custody of the kids, taking their kids. So, or even if it's a domestic thing, people just want to get out of here. So it's so many laws now to protect kids, that it's kind of like, for people who, probably together don't have any issues, they have to take the extra step. Even if you're divorced, since like some people bring the divorce decree, it's so many different things. Like when I had to change my name when I got married, I had to have all those documents. Now that everything stays the same, the only thing I bring is my passport, because everything has a system. But in the beginning, I had to make sure I have my marriage license, all these things, so people know, okay, she is who she is.
mm-hmm.
So even now, this brought up a funny story. Like when I went to go to renew my driver's license, and I went to get the verified, because I travel all the time. So I'm gonna get the verified, and plus you need that when you travel anyways. They was like, oh, we have to make sure you're verified, because one of my documentation has a different spelling on my middle name. One letter was spelled different. So they had to call like the post, like the people who had my driver's license, and like they had to call the passport people. Everybody had to
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, this is her, so they could give me the verify and then make the correct changing in the spelling.
Mm-hmm.
So that one thing, I was like, what the heck? I was there for another 15 minutes while they were calling all the proper places off of that one error. So we just have to be mindful. And that's another reason why Whitney's Escape is here, to help people who want to travel as a family or with kids to other countries and different things like that, because there's so many new rules and laws
Mm-hmm.
that I stay up to date for, so you don't have these problems. You don't want to be spending thousands of dollars, and then you get to the airport and you can't go nowhere
Yeah.
because you can't leave your child there.
Mm-mm.
So it's important to know these things. It's important to reach out to people like Whitney from Whitney's Escapes, who can help you out your travel arrangements, keep you up to date. But that's what I'm here for. I contact my clients, and I realize you got to say, hey, you have a passport. I'm gonna be like, no, let me see your passport. I'm gonna start telling people, because there's been so many people that I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize how people are ready to go, but the documentation, is not up to date.
Well, mine is
Up to date.
definitely sorry. All right, Jared, get to the airport. Okay. That's funny how you spelled it like that. But I'm glad that mine is up to date, because that was definitely a crazy situation around my birthday time in October, when it came time for me to go to Jamaica, and I did not know where my new passport was. And the old one I couldn't use no more because it expired, and I was like, oh my, I literally called a lady like, oh my God, I need a new passport. I can't find my passport. She's like, when do you leave? I'm leaving Tuesday. I don't want to stay here. I need this vacation. I'm stressed. She's like, calm down. I can't miss my trip. Ain't no way I'm missing my trip. That's the lady. I don't care how much it costs. I need me a new passport expedited
Mm-hmm.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Call whoever you need. Tell them I'm Beyonce or anybody out there that can get it faster than usual. I am not missing my trip on Tuesday, and today is Friday. But of course, it's a good thing that I did find my passport in time for the trip because that would have been rough. But these people don't realize how important it is until it's time, and then they still try to finagle ways around it. I'm like, what's the big deal? It's really not that expensive when you base it off of other things that you do on the regular anyway.
It really costs
Question
almost.
can
I use a government passport first?
For extracurricular travel?
Yes, you can use the passport for government for extracurricular travel. I just lost my train of thought.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
You know what extracurricular travel is?
For what I'm thinking, I know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Why?
No, I'm just asking. It's just a question from the people, and you just so nonchalant about answering it. I'm like,
to the person who sent it, texting it, so I'm thinking he's meaning something else. Like the first one, he put airport, like to the airport, like what I'm saying. So I'm thinking extracurricular, he means like
oh,
if he wants to do other things.
Anyways, I can continue.
So that's why I paused and just looked like, because I know he's watching. Like, are you serious? Or are you trying to be funny? Like, from his comment from previously.
Mm-hmm.
But if he cares to explain, he could say if he's talking about, marijuana, or if he's talking about, sexual things, if he's talking about whatever he could be talking about. It could be so many different things. But anyways, back to my train of thought that I lost earlier. I lost what it was again. What I was going to say. See what happened when you have certain people here, you see their comments. You don't know if they're serious or not. Takes you off.
Yes, you got the real question now. You ready?
Okay, let me see. Oh, can you use your passport for a non-government related travel? Yes. That's what our passport is for. Everything doesn't have to be government related. As long as it's a passport, you should be able to use it. But I know
you know what?
That's why I can't take it serious.
You know what?
It always makes me laugh though. I can't take some of these comments serious. But I do know that people who have the same work how he does have two passports.
Yes.
So, I do know that like most of them have two separate passports for different things. But I'll do more research because I know his field and I understand exactly what he's asking now. But I would definitely tell him the exact details since I have his contact. So I'll reach out to you. But I do know some people have two who does the same thing that he does.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's important to have it because it's a second form of ID, So I think it's expensive. It could be costly because yesterday between for one child with a picture cost me $130, I think, for one passport. Kids only last 5 years because they change so much and stuff like that. Adults are usually last. I should look at my passport. Is it 7? 10? Is it 10 years? I thought mine said 7. I should look at it to be, but I put.
It's different. So.
Yeah, but it's still almost like an ID. Your ID costs you $75. I'm saying $80. So. You look at it like that as another form of identification. And most places nowadays need two forms of ID. Like when I wanted to get verified, it's like, do you have your passport? Like that was another form of ID. And because now in the state that I live in, which is in Connecticut, they are now starting to mail your driver's license to you. You go there, take a picture. You don't get it right away like we used to. Now they're mailing it, which I don't like, but that's my personal opinion. Now they're mailing it to you. And I was traveling, so thank God I had my passport. So I can use that, and not my driver's license. Because they give you a paper one, but, you probably, I don't have time for that. Because when I was traveling to have a more legit ID, I had my passport. And the same thing for kids. If they need some type of ID, they have their passports that we can use for identification for them.
Yeah.
That's important to have and stuff like that. Next topic I want to talk about, you guys, is escaping. How sometimes you cannot escape your reality. I know every week I talk about different ways that I can escape. But this week, I was not able to escape, guys. I had to deal with everyday reality chores.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my gosh, we need to escape Wednesday, and I can't escape. I've been so busy with being a mom, a wife, running a business. I haven't had time to really indulge in my books like I want to. I still kind of get a book a day, stuff like that. But during the week, I haven't been doing it this week. I haven't been able to get on my karaoke, watch
Oh
TV.
no.
I know it's horrible. But I had things I had to do here at my home front. I've been preparing for whatever the school decides to do, in the fall. So I'm like, okay, let me reorganize the house again. Like, because I was working with my kids in March until now in my kitchen. So like different stuff set up. So I had to reset things up. But isn't it so sad when we look back about how sometimes we just can't escape?
Absolutely.
Have you experienced that quest recently?
All the time. What do you
I know.
Listen,
So you saw Ashalon. Like, don't you always say you can't
you know
escape?
why? Because it's just like I'll be in my zen recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because just thinking about escaping is not helping me escape. So I start to think of my mind of ways of escaping, which was just put on my headphones and listen to music that I enjoy, you know,
Yes.
or just taking a moment to breathe and sip some lemon tea. And that's what I've been doing lately. That's been really feeling really good because life, like I said, can be very overwhelming. There's so much you got to do. There's so many things you're trying to balance, and it becomes team too much. And then the moment you want to breathe, you really can't breathe because of the dynamics in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're a mom, which means you can't even pee and poop in peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Hashtag people who kill, poop and pee in peace, or take a shower in peace, or brush your teeth in peace, or wash your face in peace. Cherish those moments.
exactly,
Once you have a
exactly.
kid, there's no boundaries. Your spouse don't. No one knocks on the doors anymore. Everybody just walks in like free reign. Okay, how you're my mom. You're my like get out of there. Your mom's in the bath. No one
I
cares.
literally, I literally said that to somebody. I was doing a show. Well, we're just having conversation on a virtual thing, and the lady she left, and I heard her child like, "Hey," well, I'm like, "What up?" He was like, "You know where my mom is?" I'm like, if she's not in front of her computer, she probably went to go pee." Oh, okay, I said, "Wait, if she went to go pee, leave her be. If she went to go pee, leave her be." Okay, okay, I wasn't going there. Like, yes, she was. Like every child disturbs their parents. Y'all like you
Mm-hmm.
stay right there until she get back. Give her a moment to herself. You know what I mean? But he didn't bother her after I said that, but it was kind of funny. That's funny, Mega. That's funny. And I
It's true though. People don't realize. I remember I was on a phone call. I'm talking to a young lady while I was in my bubble bath, but we were talking about something, and she just called me. She said, "What are you in the tub?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "It's so funny that you talking." But then she's like, "Hey, mom," and then she goes like, "Didn't you tell me to come?" I'm like, "Yep." And the whole house is in here with me. Like, no one cares. Can I come in there with you? Can I get in the tub with you? Can I take a bath next? I'm like, you don't get out. Where's your father? Oh, wait, you think you could give? No, I cannot give them a bath. Get them up out of here. Can I have
horrible.
a minute to myself? And it's just like I laugh because I was the same way growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was very um I guess TMI. I would give some TMI personal information. Like I'm a very free spirit person, so nudity is not a big thing to me. Definitely in my household, not out on the streets, but in my household. So it's
Mm-hmm.
do it because at the end of the day, it's not like they know body parts and stuff like that. But it's funny because my son's like he could come in the bathroom while I'm in the bathroom, but nobody else could come in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're my mom. But no, they're strangers. They can't come in here with us, mom. Like it's funny because I was the same way. Like my mom was in the bathroom, like, "Hey, mom, you today? Like, what are you doing? Like, let me get this, let me get that out of there." Or if I'm in the shower, she's like, "What? That's you in there? I'm coming in." So it's so funny how that passed on to your kids. But I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I want to be in here by myself. Let me hide out, but I don't get those privileges anymore. So
Yeah, because I know you want to invest in a lock, but
I can lock the bathroom door, but for some odd reason, I don't. And second, I know if I'm in the shower or something and someone has to use the bathroom, somebody always needs me all the time. Like even if my husband, well, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I can't hear them because I'll have like music or something on when I'm taking a shower, or I'm watching Wilding Out like on my phone so I can laugh while I'm just taking a shower. So people always come in, or if someone uses the bathroom, I'm like, no, because my kid for some odd reason doesn't like to go downstairs and use the downstairs bathroom, only if they're downstairs. I'm like, but mommy, I don't want to go down here, so I just never lock the door because I guess I'm used to it now. Mm-hmm. And then I figure if I have to lock it, then I have to stop. What? Open the door. You know what I'm saying?
No. Like, whatever it is, it can wait 20 minutes. Whatever it is, it can wait 20 minutes. If they're not dying, whatever it is can wait 20 minutes.
Sometimes you know that one day I locked somebody behind bloody nose, broken this. It's just my new norm, and it's something I can't escape. Mm-hmm. That's why when I was in Atlanta, it was just so nice. I was like, because then I like my hot showers. My husband's like, yo, that's where your son gets it from. I'm like, no, it just helps with tension, in your shoulders and stuff like that.
It's a thing for all women. Majority love burning hot showers. I'm like, yeah.
I love burning because I just feel like once you're clean, if it's not hot, I don't feel clean. I wash even my dishes. John, like, how you washing these dishes? The water's so hot. I'm like, because it has to be hot to kill all the bacteria.
With a pedicure, I want that water hot. They're like, too hot. Like, no, not too hot. Keep it right here. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yep. But at the end of the day, even though people say you should take a break from your life and your system and your routine, but the moment you do, you still miss it because it's a part of your life.
Or everything falls apart. Like my friend was like, you should just leave everything. Perfect example because I'm looking at it right now. You should just leave everything and wait till somebody else picks it. I said, please, the whole house will fall down before I pick up something. And I told my husband, because he does the laundry because it's downstairs and the man cave, on the other half. So it's easy for him because he's already down there. And like, yeah, I do laundry, I'll fold it up. And I'll be like, John, when you do the laundry, as soon as you're finished with one basket, please bring me up that one basket. Don't bring me up 2 and 3 and 4 baskets because I feel like I'm doing laundry all day by putting all the clothes up. And today I said, John, is there laundry? He's like, yeah, I got a basket. Came up with 4 baskets. I said, didn't I know it? My bad, yo. I'm so sorry. You told me this. You told me this every time. And I always forget. I'm always asking, yo, bring up the laundry as soon as you're done with it so I can put it back, and I have 20 freaking things to put
Why didn't he just, even though he did it all, he forgot, just bring it up 1 per day after he did it all?
Because he probably needs something in that basket and he don't know what basket it is in. So, if he brings it up, I'm like, and I'm going to, separate all the bags. But what I ended up doing, since I was getting everything in order anyways, was like redoing my children's closet, trying to get them ready for, school and stuff like that, seeing what they need, what they don't need, get rid of old things. I was like, oh my God, laundry became a whole new task. Mm-hmm. I was like, when I'm going to escape, guys? I need to escape. Just a mental stop. So I think I'm going to take a bath and lock the door and read my book while I'm in there.
Here's your escape.
Oh, it's in North Carolina, depending if you got a quarantine. But actually, that following weekend, we're supposed to be in Atlanta. That's going to be very interesting.
That's this year?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was next year.
It was this year. Next year, I plan on being at Disney because I was supposed to be in Disney this year, remember? Cool. It's this year.
Oh, that's lit.
I'm flying out Friday because, Thursday is Mama's birthday. So that's why I'm leaving on Friday morning. But we can see what we could do it.
You can definitely do that. Well, I know I can.
But what is this? If it's just a weekend thing, I could probably do it in and out. Hopefully, we don't have to do no 14-day quarantines and all that crazy stuff.
What? I'm so glad you said that because I said that on one of my.
Yeah, but I don't plan on staying there. I gotta still come back home and deal with my own family life.
No, he probably saying he may come up for the turn up.
Oh, he could do that. I'll have the itinerary.
Yeah. It's one of my a bunch of ladies, so
yeah. We should probably hit the strip joint. Never been, but she was like she want to go. Wait. So her birthday, I'm like, whatever you want to do, boo. We'll be up there for the weekend in Atlanta to turn up for one of my girlfriend's birthday. Yeah, flying. So I'll do direct flight. Okay.
It's just so funny how no matter where you are, this is funny that people talk about this stuff because no matter where you are, right? No matter where you are, people just assume you only around the corner. Oh, you was in New York, you didn't tell me. You should have came by. I'm like, I'm sorry. Last I checked, I was in Manhattan, and you live in Buffalo. Like you, like I don't understand why people do things like that. You know what I mean?
No, I got my mask already, but I'll take one of yours too. We could swap masks so we can re-represent each other's brand.
You know, but yeah, they really get that. They're like, "Oh, Atlanta is only a few hours away," or "You got to pass through anyway. Come say hi." I'm like, first of all, if I'm in South Carolina and you're in North Carolina, I'm on this side of it. North Carolina is long. You could be on the other side, but you got to pass through North Carolina. Yeah, but not where you are.
You know? Yeah, most of the time we fly. So yeah, I pass over North Carolina. I'm not driving through. Like the driving life,
it just doesn't make, like when people speak, they don't make no sense. In their mind is, well, technically you're here, so you need to be here. That's the same thing with so many people. Since the outside is opening up a little bit, they keep asking me, when am I coming through? I'm like, last I checked, the pandemic is still going on. In all due respect, I still need to feel comfortable. I still only go to the mailbox every few days. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you think I'm gonna go to a different state? And I'm like, I get it, and I appreciate everyone wants to see me and be around me. But every state is now acting like a different country, which means it has its own set of rules, their own everything. So it's not all willy-nilly. I just come to your state. It is what it is. Some places you really have to quarantine for weeks and stuff, but they're not thinking like that. They're not thinking smart.
And now they're getting the laws. You can get a fine if you don't quarantine. You go to jail if you don't quarantine. And you have to know the laws of whatever city or state that you're in and respect people's establishments. Just because, you know, your state, so you're fine. You go to someone like, wait, have you been out the country? You can't come in here. You like, everybody has their own set of rules. And this time we just have to respect people.
Yeah.
And I'm very cautious too, because I do have 2 small children and you know, parents and stuff that's around me. So I try not to travel back to back to back. You know, even when I went to Atlanta, even though I didn't have to quarantine from the questionnaire stuff I had to fill out to come back to New York, I still maintained a low profile. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was gone. My wash your hands. Yes, always wash your hands.
It's funny how people gotta remind people of things they should have been doing regularly. But
I think all this pandemic has just showed me, something I always believe is people's nasty. That's it. Because the only thing that it tells you to do is to wash your hands and social distance. Then you learn personal space. So stop being in people's faces, you know, and wash your hands. So even like now, if you catch it, the only thing they're telling you is stay home for 2 weeks. So it's like, you know, being healthy, thinking about things like that. It's just like, I just know people are nasty. And because they don't wash their hands. A lot of people
will leave the bathroom.
Wash their hands. That's why I had to put lotion on before I got on here, because I was like, oh, my hands look like old, because I've been washing my hands so much. But I've been accustomed to it. One, because I'm not dirty, and they say cleanliness is next to godliness, so I'm trying to get all my stuff together. Second of all, I have a degree in culinary, so without COVID, you're going to quarantine. I have a degree in culinary, so we always had to wash our hands there. You know, I'm a mom, so I always had to wash my hands there. So anything in life, I knew I was just accustomed to always washing my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, now when people are like, oh, you need to wash your hands, be like, do you just now realize you should wash your hands? Like, where have you been all your life?
Girl.
Wash your sink and rub hands. Nobody wants your germs or your dirt.
They even tell you shouldn't be that close to people anyways. They all remember cooties? Cooties was the younger version of COVID.
Exactly. And I want your cooties. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Why
it's horrible.
It's so funny, but it's so we just gotta be mindful of hygiene. You know what I'm saying? Put deodorant on so you don't be stinking. Wash your hands and stuff like that. Don't touch your face. You know, we just really have to be mindful and respect ourselves and others.
Right.
If this epidemic or pandemic haven't taught us anything, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you for not washing your hands.
Or washing your butt. Well, yeah, nobody want cooties. Like, that's what it is. Around for a long time, you know what I'm saying? And even the funny part about it is when people were running to the stores to buy like the Clorox wash, the bleach, all this type of stuff, you know, toilet paper, paper towels. I didn't run to the store for that stuff. I'm like, why am I running to the store? I already have all this stuff in my house. Mm-hmm. Like, one, I always been a bulk shopper, which you know, because I always have a card to BJ's and Costco's because I have different stuff. I always, you know, because I don't like running out of anything. I never want to run out of toilet paper. I never like running out of paper towel. Soaps, you know, I only use a certain type of soap, so I always get the bulk of it, you know, because you're my sister, so you know what I keep at my house. I always keep Lysol because I just like things clean. And it's just like, for people to go, you know, crazy, I'm like, what have you been doing all this time? Like, have you not been cleaning your house? Do you not already have cleaning products? Do you not have soap that can last you a couple of weeks at least?
The funny part is that a lot of people that be making fun of people that coupon, they be having massive stuff. And look who you was running to when Walmart ran out of toilet paper, paper towel.
Yeah, that's good. People who did that, I would have been online like, yo, you need something, hit me up. Because I got
that caked up during this situation. But I actually asked somebody the reason why I was buying so much toilet paper. I asked somebody why people kept buying so much toilet paper. And there was a reason, but I forgot the reason. So I had to ask them again so I could tell you. It was actually something that somebody said that went viral. And that's the reason they was really buying it. In my mind, I was like, well, everybody's going to be home eating all day. So they're going to be pooping and peeing all day. So that's why they need more of the toilet paper, you know? Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'll find something. I think that's everywhere. Unfortunately, I don't think people are taking anything that serious like they should. You know, like I had to do a survey for my children if I wanted them to do distance learning or go back to school. I personally want them to do distance learning just because I don't think the world knows really what's going on, and I don't want my children subject to a guessing game. Mm-hmm. And I know because they're small, I want them to, you know, be around other kids. I feel bad for both of them, you know, that they can't. I tell them every day when they be fighting each other, so you better lucky you have somebody to fight with, because some kids are just by themselves. Mm-hmm. But it's important for them to, you know, be around people. Socialization is important, you know, and not social media, because it's not socializing. Like face to face, having real conversations, learning how to share, learning how to take your turn, stuff like that. It's very important for development. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that saddens me about everything. But I always tell them it's not worth, you know, their health. Yeah. So, you know, it's a hard time that we're in, but we have to know and figure out how to balance everything. That's one thing that I've been working on during this pandemic, is balancing. That's why every week I was like, what's your escape? How do you escape this week? I didn't really get to escape like that this week. I've been taking like little 5-second escapes. Like right now I'm kind of escaping, but it's still kind of, you know, business and work. But we have to know that we need to balance our lives. Yeah. You know, we have to, yes, it's okay to work and play and build, but you still have to take care of yourself as well. Like wash your hands is taking care of yourself. Mm-hmm. That's true. That is definitely true. But that's what everything in this world, though. Everything is politicalized. Everything is money. But we just have to look at the bigger picture. At the end of the day, millions of people, you know, lost their life or got sick to this. And even if it wasn't from the COVID, you know, like when we lost family members, we couldn't be with our other family, you know what I'm saying? So that still hit you a different type of way, you know? And in general, I don't like being sick, period. I don't like the story. I don't like when my stomach hurts. I don't like having a headache. I don't like anything that's not normal. And I don't want to be sick. I don't want my children sick. I don't want anybody in my family sick, period. And if we can do anything to prevent that, I think we should do it. We don't really know exactly why do I think COVID hit African Americans harder. I think it hit African Americans harder because one, a lot of us live near each other, like in duplexes or apartment buildings and stuff like that. We're in the same type of communities, so it's easy things to spread when it's in a confined area. Definitely when everybody's home. Like our other sister, she lives in a nice high rise in Stanford, and when I went there, I was like, I couldn't live here right now, because everything. If somebody did really have something there, because where they are, things can spread easily. And also, I'm not God or Jesus or scientist or anything like that. I don't know how much this information is factual. I don't know the real data. They say it is hitting us harder. One, I think it hit us harder too is because we're not the majority of the population. So when you have a smaller number, and even if it's 10% of that, it's still a huge number, So that I think it factors some of it. Black people are known for having, higher stress, higher blood pressure, because every day in our lives, we deal with more. At the end of the day, when the Black Lives Matter movement is going on right now, and we are Black people, brown people, we have to, even being a female, I have dealt with things with the police. I have dealt with things with not co-workers, just because of color of my skin. Nothing else. Even in my part-time job, like I was going to leave there not because of the staff or anything. It was just, I just wanted to do something else. But I decided to stay because I'm a brown woman and I'm the only brown woman in that whole building. And
sounds like my childhood.
Yeah, well, we both know. And I realized my presence is bringing change. That's the only reason why I haven't left.
Yeah.
Because you can expect people to do things for you or fight for you or understand you if they don't know you.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but I do understand. And I like some people say, why do you feel like you have to educate white people? So I don't feel like I have to educate white people, but if they're willing to learn and want to know what I think about something, I feel it's my responsibility to give it to them. Certain situations happen and they'll be like, well, why did you react like that? Or why does this happen? Like I have an example. This one lady, she wasn't Black. She is probably from Ukraine or somewhere. And it was me and an old white worker. We were working together. And the other, so can I help you? She was like, no. She wanted to wait for me. I didn't know the lady. So I said, okay. When I was done with the patient I was working with, I assisted her. And then I helped her and everything like that. And then when she left, my patient said, why do you think she's like, do you know her? I was like, no. She said, why do you think she didn't want to come to me? And I was telling her, I said, have you ever been the only person who looked like you in the room? And this lady is in her 60s. She sat there and thought about it. And she said, no, she's never been anywhere in her life where she's the only person who looked like her in the room. And I told her, I said, see, this lady, her English wasn't 100% great, but she saw someone who looked different like her. So she felt more comfortable speaking to me because she felt like I wouldn't judge her or anything like that than going to someone who probably thinks she was less than, just because of her perception. Because the lady said that. She said, and that's how I knew it was a fact, because she came and told me this thing. I was like, yeah, she got up. She goes, no, but I feel like, trying to explain that I'll be more relatable to her, what I'm saying, to help her out. And I said, that changes people. When you're the only person who look like you in the room, I've been in so many different situations like that. You have to, because it changes you into the sense, because now you realize everybody looking at everything you're doing. Everybody judging everything you're doing. You make a comment, now you're a mad black woman, or you have attitude. There's so many different things, but you can't even just voice your opinion without somebody putting you in a box just because of the color of your skin. There's so many different variables out here.
A lot of us don't like to be in the waiting room for hours. I know the hospital by me, I feel is the worst. They're quick just to give you a prescription, may you go on your way. Well, now that is just more out. Sorry to interrupt, but
Oh, go ahead. I was reading it too.
Okay. Well, with that, it's not just because of the pandemic, it's because of the medical field altogether. There's a difference from the regular hospital, the emergency room, and the walk-in clinics, and
in your doctor's office.
Huh?
In your doctor's office.
Absolutely. And it's called malpractice for a reason. And that technically they're not God. They don't know everything. Mm-hmm. They're guessing everything. So when you go to like a walk-in clinic or an emergency room, they be like, so how you feel? Like, oh, it's probably this, it's probably that. Well, here you go. If you ain't really coming in there on your deathbed, they're going to guess and take you something and be on your merry way. And if it doesn't work, just come on back. And then when it comes to like African Americans in this pandemic, it's a little uncomfortable depending on how you look at it. Like you said something about the health insurance. No one wants to go to the doctors, but technically, how do you even know you got it unless you went to the doctors, right? And then a lot of them are being a little bit more aggressive with you guys when taking a test and dealing with you, that it could be something else, and they'll just call it that, and they're giving you stuff that's actually making you sick and got you dying. It's just such an uncomfortable topic to touch on, because deep down inside, you never really know. Even with that whole situation and rumor about the 5G, right? If that was something that was causing sickness, of course, the urban community will be the ones that be affected more, because all that's in our communities. Mm-hmm. Everything with smoke and stuff going in the air and pollution, all that stuff is in the urban communities. Fast food places more in the urban communities. Everything that's bad for you is in the urban communities. Mm-hmm. Not in the burbs, when the majority of the people are white. Let's be realistic. And that's why we are more immune to things. That's why we gravitate more to things on the bad side, because of the way society is built, or the cards we was dealt based off the whole history of Black Americans being here in the country.
And you know what else? That was a great topic, and it made me remember something you told me 2 days ago. And it also reminded me of us, how we are brought up as Black people. Mm-hmm. We're very spiritual and godly people. So a lot of things back in the day, we didn't have access to, mm-hmm. which were doctors and stuff like that. We had to come with our own thing and really just believe in God to heal us through stuff. And the reason I bring that up is because the other day I cut my hand.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, I think I need to go to see my doctor because I think I might need some stitches. So I told my mom. She was like, oh, just see if it stopped bleeding and don't go. I said, that's what happened to the cut on my leg. You said the same thing. And when I went to my doctor, they said, you should have had stitches. You wouldn't have had this scar. Mm-hmm. But our community, we're like, just see what you know what I'm saying? Here, when we do have some people, doctors and stuff like that, who can help us. And I really do believe in God and everything and healing you, but I also do believe in going to get your yearly physical from your own doctor. The reason I say
if you have one,
and that's another issue too in our community, because if you have a doctor who you go to like every year, if you're a healthy person, they have your blood work, your charts, they know more about you. Then you go into the ER, emergency care, and you're there for 5 seconds. They don't know anything. They don't know any of your history. They don't know anything about you for what they get off of your today's symptoms. Not knowing if you have any persistent stuff that you probably don't know about. Our health is also something important for us to invest in. And I'm not saying run to the doctor, because obviously I didn't go to the doctor. My hand still hurt from this cut because I listened to him a question. Remember, he's like, well, you about that doctor, like go get yourself stitched up. So I said, I want to see how it works, because last year, you guys know, I broke my finger and I had to get stitches in there too. But it's also the mindset. Like mom was like, oh, wow, she ain't never going to the hospital unless her whole arm is cut off. She ain't going there. Most people in our community don't go there. But I will say that when I do have an issue or feel some type of concern, I will call my doctor. Like, hey, this is what's going on. What do you think? Before I go, run into the emergency and see how much I can deal with, because it's important. Some stuff that was going on with my body could have been got resolved just because I didn't have enough vitamin D. I now take prescription vitamin D, and I thought I was freaking dying. But it was just that one little thing. And it's unfortunate in our community that we don't have proper health care. We don't know little things. We really can't trust doctors like that. As well, I wish more of us became doctors, you know what I'm saying? So we could see someone who looked like us. It's important to have people who look like us.
But the crazy part with that is, like you said, we don't know. And if you do your research, it's uncomfortable for us to be at the doctors because a lot of those doctors, no disrespect, are white guys who are still very prejudiced and don't really want to help us. So they take advantage of that time. And then at the same time, with me working in that field, a lot of them is all about the money. And either if you ain't got the money, I ain't treating you, or if you do got the money, I'm going to treat you, but I'm not going to heal you, because if I heal you, then you won't be a patient of mine no more, which means you're stopping my business, which means they ain't really trying to heal you. They want you to keep coming back and forth. You can't lose. You can't win in society because it will never be good enough for the ones that's actually running it. And that's like this is subjects like that I really try not to touch, but yes, you should be very mindful of your well-being and your health and stuff. And it's nice to do checkups if you know you can go to a doctor that's you're comfortable with. And then it's nice to do it when you actually can afford it. It's just so uncomfortable because we've always been uncomfortable here.
Yeah, that's what's important for us to, really do other things, like be more doctors, be more therapists. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I wanted to say too.
Who?
I'm sorry. That's what I want to say too. And then the ones
check out posts like you're right.
I know, right? And then the ones that are in that field that are melanin, they're in some urban communities where it's already a hot mess and very contagious. Like right now in the pandemic, like a lot of doctors do live in Atlanta, but who's trying to be out there in this situation? Or is either that or they're in the extra expensive areas because once again it's the business, so they're in the areas where they have the best insurance, in the most expensive areas that you can't even afford it anyway. So once again, we're in an uncomfortable position no matter how we look at it. Girl, I don't know where this show went, but don't get me started because
I don't know. Somebody asked a question. I'm about to say the same thing. We talked about escapes, and then we got on the pandemic and healthcare and why it happened in the Black community. A lot of things we're not scientists, we're not doctors, we're not God, but all we do know is that we need to take care of ourselves. Be mindful no matter what's going out in this world, protect yourself. If they say wear a mask is going to protect you, wear the mask. Wash your hands. You should do that regardless of the pandemic or not. Wash your hands. Social distance, which is important anyway, because that helps you from not getting any type of germs. If somebody's all in your face and they got something, of course you're going to get it. Even a common cold. If you with somebody who has a common cold and you're right next to them and they cough, guess what? You might have
strep, mono,
anything. So many simple things like you can treat, like you can catch by being close to people. So some of it makes sense. We just have to do what's best for us and whatever you feel is best for you and your household, especially when it comes down to escaping. Like I respect all the different islands who don't want Americans there. I'm sad. I wish I could just be there and stay there.
I would love to be naked in the sun right now on an island.
Exactly. But I respect it because you know what happened? When this first happened, they shut down for real. They didn't have thousands of people. These small islands, they shut down, maybe like 50 people sick, maybe one died or none. Like they really kept it contained. And that's why so many places, when they start opening up and then they start letting Americans in and their numbers start skyrocketing, and say, oh, no. We don't want you here no more because we are a small island. We don't have as many resources and stuff like that. And we want to protect our people who are here.
Yeah.
So I respect it, and that's what I'm learning too with this pandemic is that how much do people really respect each other and themselves?
Girl. We're going to have to do a couple of shows.
I'm in a public. I don't be on top of people. And, if somebody get close to me, I'll be like, excuse me, 6 feet. I'll just kindly move to the side because sometimes you're looking for stuff. You don't want to be rude to people. You know what I'm saying? But we also have to be mindful. Like, I have a whole family I have to come home to. So I want to make sure that I want to make sure it can be, I don't know. A lot of things are man-made.
Everything in society is too sticky to talk about. That's why I try to
been around for a long time because I had bleaches and stuff before this happened, and it clearly say on the package, prevent COVID or kills, and that was before this blew up. So it's been around for a long time. They're saying it's a different strand, so it could be something mailman. I don't know. I can't fact say this is the fact. That is true as well, but it's also, a respect thing. Like, what would kill people if they really lock down for 2 weeks? You should, and I even when it snow, I live on the East Coast. This is what I don't understand. Even when it snows outside, they say the bad weather, everybody at the grocery store buying up everything. You telling me you don't have no bread, no milk, you don't have enough food in your house to last you a couple of days?
A lot of people don't.
Well, they need to.
That's what I'm saying. Like these stories.
But the regulars, I'm a regular shopper. You know me, Quest. I shop every week. That's my regimen. But I still have to shop. Huh?
Everybody ain't true.
No, they're not me. I shop every week just because I'm on a budget. So I like to shop every week, and I like to get my meats. How about whenever they sell stuff like that. But if something did happen, I would have food to last me a couple of days. But if someone doesn't, that's one thing. But the grocery stores be packed. Like, they wasn't just there 2 days ago. Like, they had a whole shelf of bread. And now on that one day, they said tomorrow's going to snow an inch. There's no bread. There's no milk. There's no eggs. Now nobody has nothing in their house.
Well, once again,
now we're down because, people already been storing up since March.
Yeah, and everybody, like I said, is not you.
They not.
A lot of people really do live check to check, so they don't have time to be going to the store every week, which means they don't always have fresh bread and milk every week,
So when they get it that day, how they get it that day when they say it's gonna be a storm tomorrow?
Because now they feel like it's a necessity, so let me go and get it now. And in other days they're like, I can live without the bread or something. So like I said, it's such a very sticky subject because everyone's lifestyle is so different. You gotta keep breaking it down and breaking it down, this scenario and this perspective. You would never have an definitive answer for any of this stuff.
No, it's all based off how I really don't think it's be able to knock them. That's true too. I don't know. We don't know, but I do know this. You need to have a passport.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about, right?
We were talking about passports, and we were talking about how did you escape this week? And I was saying how I wasn't able to really escape because my real life, I had a lot of stuff to do in my own home, like get ready for whatever they decide school happens. I really think they're doing distance learning, so I was just getting prepared. That's a valid point. Get my house together, stuff like that, because if school does start within like 2 weeks and stuff, I want to make sure that they have the Chromebooks and different things like that, so I could be mentally and prepared and everything's cleared out, so I don't be going crazy. If I have to be their teacher, if they don't do this, if they're not going to do Zoom, like the last time I was actually a teacher, the teacher sending me assignments to help them. You should get your own personal one. I suggest you have your own personal one from what I know from previous. I hope people can see the comments when they see I stop when I'm talking about, okay, good. Because I feel like it's kind of weird. It's like, what the heck? Should you just talk about one thing? Everyone should have their own personal passport. If, you should have it. It should be kind of like a law, like you have a driver's license or ID, you should have your a passport. That's my personal opinion but I really think it's a great second form of ID, and it lasts a long time. So it's a small investment that carries for a long time. Like, even if you decide not to get your ID, like say if you don't have a driver's license, you walk around with an ID, I can't afford that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can have, instead of getting your ID, go get, a passport, you know what I'm saying? So, because that can be used for your identification. And Also, on a great note, make sure this week, guys, make time to escape. I'm going to figure out what day maybe this weekend. I'll have some time this weekend to escape. But with everything that was going on, I was traveling, I was quarantined, I was trying to be very safe, redoing my house, like I guess summer cleaning, getting ready for the fall, stuff like that. So I didn't have as much time that I want to escape, but I will do that. But thank you guys for being so involved this week. I really appreciate, even though it wasn't really on our topic, but hey, I'm down for it. I appreciate that you want our opinions. So thank you for that, and keep it going. Every week we will be here on Whitneys Escapes Wednesday, talk about things. And just know, guys, too, don't take anything we say personally, because this is our opinions. Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is, I am owner of Whitneys Escapes. That's a fact. You should have your passport. That's my opinion. / kind of like a fact. But still my personal opinion. So don't take anything offensively. We're not here to offend anybody. We're just speaking from, I'm not going to comment on that. We're just speaking from our personal opinions. We don't want to, this is not a debating show. This is not you're right, I'm wrong. Everybody has different lifestyle. As you can tell, T-Quest and Whitney, we're two separate individuals. We're siblings, same DNA, but we live two separate lifestyles. We are two different people. So yeah, and that should show you the dynamic here. We genuinely have love for one another. We're loving people, but we're still individuals and we live different lives. So just know these are our opinions. And we're here for you guys. We're here to share your opinions, give you some strategies. Let us know what you want to talk about. We're here. Maybe I'll talk about budgeting, because I think that's important in the Black community that people have not talked about. Next week, we will talk about that. So, Quest, please remind me. Thank you. You're the best. Put it on the Google Calendar. We'll talk about it. At the end of the day, this show we created so that we can help people. Especially our people, because most of the people follow us look like us. But anybody, we're here to just help bring some positivity to your life. If it's been a rough week, I'm here. My week was kind of busy, so it's good to come on here and chat it up and communicate with you guys. So please follow us on all your social media platforms at Whitneys Escapes. If you're not, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Whitneys Escapes LLC. Hit that subscribe button, and also go to my new website. It's www.whitneysescapes.com, and subscribe so you can get on my mailing list and know all the great things that we have going on. And right now, I'm going to shoot it over to T-Quest so you can follow her as well. So extra.
I am actually. Why? Because I'm an entertainer. You already know what it is. Oh, stop. No, definitely you can. You can follow me on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM. You can remix that thing if you want to bless you with my Cash App $TQuestGLM. Ching ching. And then make sure you download that T-Quest mobile app in your Google Play Store and your App Store so you can keep up with all my blogging, my radio station, my radio shows, and everything that makes me litty. Girl, so pretty, going it down in the city. All right, let me start on the floor. But then I'm signing up for my mail list on my website, GodLetMeRoll.com. Like you said, we're here for you guys. We're here to help you with your mindset. And for you ladies out there that's in the tri-state area, November 6th to the 8th, is the Whitneys Escape Annual Women's Retreat. We're going to be in the hotel. We got the networking party. We got over $1,000 worth of raffles. We got games. We got food included, like powerful panel with the nutritionist, beauty specialist, mental health specialist, financial advisors, sexologist. It's going to be a great time. So if you know any women in the tri-state area and you want to bless them with a ticket, that's always up there too. And if you want to be a sponsor, just contact us at travels@whitneysescapes.com. Yo, I'm so
that was great, girl. Thank you for the plug. We gotta keep always, letting you guys know what we're doing out here. At the end of the day, we're here for you. We're here for the people, and we want to let you know what we're doing in our community. Keep it together. Oh my God! Please follow him as well, DJ. Exclusive. Follow him, Fattening. But you see it up on the screen. Follow for a follow. We're here to support. So anybody else needs a follow, you might just put it now. We got like 30 seconds. We about to get up out of here. No, this is a woman's thing. So please,
Bob, you do live in Connecticut, so
Hit me
Let
up.
me know. And you in that area. It's going to be in Trumbull Shelton. Trumbull
Yes.
Marriott Shelton.
Yes.
So
Any females, let me know. And we are going to do one where it's going to be both sex, but we're starting off with just the ladies. So I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you here next week.